line, Stephen Lett's characterization of the new arrangement for Kingdom Hall construction was entirely misleading.
However, according to some of our circuit overseers, some of us took this to mean that the organization had a surplus of funds and thus took this action, as if the loans did not need to be reimbursed. Could this misconception have affected the amount that some have chosen to donate each month? In actuality, the mortgages were canceled so as not to be a hardship on some congregations and circuits, but that by means of an equalizing. Your surplus at the present time might offset their need, so that their surplus might also offset your deficiency, that there may be an equalizing. Just as it is written, the person with much did not have too much, and the person with little did not have too little. So that was the scriptural basis for canceling all loan repayments. It was not because the organization had a large surplus of funds and thus could, quote, afford to cancel these mortgages. As explained at the time, it was to equalize the reimbursement of such expenditures over the entire brotherhood. Some businessmen in the secular world might think this was a disastrous policy change. However, we know the spirit of Jehovah's faithful servants. We all feel privileged to be able to help the growing brotherhood to have comfortable places to meet and praise Jehovah.
Actually, unscrupulous businessmen would probably hugely admire this policy change and do something like it themselves if they thought they stood a chance of getting away with it. What Watchtower did in 2014 was effectively strip congregations of the last vestiges of their autonomy. Once congregations no longer had any finances for maintaining their own kingdom halls or perhaps renting new facilities, they were even more powerless to resist if they were later ordered to relocate. This was essentially stealth tithing, a smash and grab of congregation funds under the pretense that Watchtower would assume responsibility for local Kingdom Hall building and maintenance needs. The reality, of course, was far more underhanded. It turned out Watchtower was desperate to free up cash by liquidating real estate. And the only way to do that with Kingdom Halls was to order a congregation to go share a Kingdom Hall with another congregation further away. Once the congregation had essentially been evicted from the building they themselves had paid for, it could be sold and Watchtower could pocket the proceeds. But in the meantime, Watchtower continued to push the idea that this was all about building new kingdom halls and renovating existing ones. And so later in 2015, the following video was released.
Many changes have been put in place over the past year with regard to how we construct, renovate, and maintain our kingdom halls. Have you wondered why changes have been made? What do these changes mean? And how can you have a share? In January 2015, a video meeting was held with all elders in the United States explaining the new arrangement for building kingdom halls. We are confident you will enjoy excerpts from that program since these changes are being implemented around the world. We are happy to bring this to you on JW Broadcasting. With all the work at hand, how's it determine which projects to work on and when? Each branch produces and maintains what is called a master plan. This next segment describes what this means in the United States.
Under the direction of the United States Branch Committee, the local Design Construction Department coordinates the construction, maintenance, and operation of over 6,000 kingdom halls, 50 assembly halls, and 1,300 special full-time servant residences. And that number will continue to grow. To meet the needs of the United States branch territory over the next 5 years, at least 1,300 new Kingdom Halls will be constructed and another 1,600 more will be renovated.
Please remember those numbers. So Jehovah's Witnesses in America were told that at least 1,300 new Kingdom Halls would be constructed.
To help organize and prioritize this enormous task, a branch-wide master plan has been developed. What is a master plan? It's a branch-wide plan that provides general locations for new Kingdom Halls presently needed, along with existing Kingdom Halls that need major renovation or replacement. How is a master plan developed? The process begins with the collection of data. In cooperation with the Service Department, the LDC collects data on each current Kingdom Hall. This includes the number of congregations and language groups using the Kingdom Hall, the number of publishers in each congregation and language group, the average meeting attendance, forecasted growth, and reports on the physical condition of each building. By analyzing this information, areas of highest need become evident, with high priority given to overcrowded and/or severely deteriorated Kingdom Halls. Then, all the needs within the branch territory are initially arranged and sorted in a prioritized order. Finally, this list of needs is compiled into a branch-wide master plan and is annually submitted to the branch committee for approval. The most critical needs are prioritized and filled first, and those with less critical needs are filled later. How nice to know these decisions are not made arbitrarily, but rather objectively and theocratically. Without a doubt, the needs in our branch territory are immense. Thankfully, Jehovah has provided direction to develop a master plan that helps organize and prioritize our work. So, if your congregation has a critical need right now, you can be confident it will be filled quickly in an organized way. Until then, your continued patience shows generosity toward those with more urgent needs.
So there's a few things to talk about here. I hope you will have noticed this use of the word master plan. This is a word that we will be revisiting later in this video, but it's worth noting that the master plan as of 2015 was this system of prioritizing Kingdom Hall builds so that various factors were taken into consideration, and based on these, Watchtower would decide which Kingdom Halls which congregations got their Kingdom Halls first. So if you are a witness watching this, bear in mind what we said earlier about this new arrangement for contributions, and suddenly Watchtower is assuming responsibility for all of the maintenance and building requirements of a congregation. If you're a witness watching this, you're thinking, well, this is okay. All I need, basically I need to have patience, and by being patient, I'm showing generosity, as we saw there, because Watchtower has everything under control. They know what the needs are in the branch territory, and so long as I'm just patient, everything is going to work out fine, and Watchtower is going to deliver on their end of the bargain. And to help reassure witnesses and encourage them to fully support this new arrangement, a certain governing body member made an appearance toward the end of this video.
As you know, many Kingdom Halls are being used beyond their capacity. We have 4, even 5 congregations in some single Kingdom Halls. And you can just imagine what happens when the circuit overseer visits, or when a maintenance project needs to be carried out. Therefore, in order for the growing demand to be met, the governing body has approved an arrangement for the accelerated design, construction, and maintenance of Kingdom Halls. We are confident of Jehovah's blessing on this new arrangement. It is so faith-strengthening to see you brothers loyally working hard and keeping in step with changing circumstances. You are working hard to keep pace with Jehovah's fast-moving chariot. And that's what the governing body is trying to do. We're just trying to keep up with Jehovah's fast-paced chariot.
So let's be absolutely clear. As of 2015, the governing body's master plan was the accelerated design and construction of kingdom halls. And earlier we were given the figure of at least 1,300 new kingdom halls in the United States alone. And witnesses are urged to get behind this new project, or project as Stephen Lett likes to call it. And by doing so, they are keeping pace with Jehovah's fast-moving organization. But as Stephen Lett is about to tell us, there's a little bit more to it than simply being enthusiastic about this new arrangement. Witnesses are also expected to give something else, give something extra towards this initiative.
Well, like David, make it a matter of prayer to increase your heart's desire to help build facilities to the glory of Jehovah's name as you resolve to do all that your circumstances will allow. You will never regret it. Contribute monetarily. 2 Corinthians 8:13 through 15 speaks of an equalizing that took place in the first century. And it was a real demonstration of Christian love. One group's surplus offset another's deficiency, so that, as the Bible says, the person with much did not have too much, and the person with little did not have too little. Paul's words to the Corinthians applied on an international scale. I mean, if you think about it, he was encouraging the Christians in Corinth to help financially their needy brothers in Judea. Similarly, today, with the consolidation of the loan arrangement, Jehovah's people around the world are equalized and linked more closely than ever before. The governing body is confident that the brotherhood will continue to honor Jehovah generously with their valuable things, as encouraged at Proverbs 3, verse 9. The governing body thanks you dearly for your continued sacrifices in behalf of kingdom interest. We continue to rely fully on Jehovah God to direct our path. And very soon, where's that path going to lead us? It's going to lead us right through the end of this wicked system and into the new world. Those who have remained busy now in the work of the Lord will continue as God's fellow workers. At that time in the new world, as a unified workforce, you will be thrilled to direct your attention to a new work assignment. What will that new work assignment be? Making the earth into a beautiful paradise.
So this was how Watchtower's master plan was pitched to Jehovah's Witnesses back in 2015. It was all about building new kingdom halls, and Stephen Lett reminding witnesses to give of their valuable things and fully support the arrangement. They could trust the organization to fulfill their side of the bargain. And you heard him referring again to the consolidated loan arrangement and basically reassuring witnesses, hey, we're going to fulfill what we said we would fulfill. We're taking this money and we're going to use it to build new kingdom halls so that kingdom halls won't be overused. He gave the example earlier on of some kingdom halls having 4 to 5 congregations, And the solution is, well, let's build more kingdom halls. And again, the number that was given was at least 1,300 new kingdom halls. That was 2015. Things are now different. And it started to change, or we started to get a hint of the new policy change in 2017, so last year. And this was actually covered in the July 2017 JW Broadcasting episode, which was hosted by Tony Morris. Now, I dealt with this extensively at the time, so here is the relevant part of the JW Broadcasting episode from July 2017, along with my comments.
Sometimes we can even take our beautiful meeting location for granted. But did you know that a lot of work goes into making sure that our kingdom halls are well utilized? The Worldwide Design Construction Department, or WDC, is tasked with analyzing our worldwide needs and providing direction to local design construction departments on how best to use our dedicated funds.
Many have been working for years in support of Kingdom Hall and Assembly Hall construction projects, most recently as part of the Local Design Construction, or LDC, program. This program was implemented during the 2014 service year and unifies the approach for construction of kingdom halls worldwide. What has been accomplished since the program started? At the end of the 2000 service year, half of the publishers worldwide met in suitable meeting places. However, the other half, approximately 3 million publishers, met in places that were overcrowded or otherwise unsuitable as kingdom halls. At that time, 27,000 kingdom halls were needed.
We are here being told that as of the year 2000, only half of Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide were meeting in suitable kingdom halls. This despite the claim that Jehovah's organization is spirit-guided and Jehovah is blessing the kingdom work as the end approaches.
By 2014, the number of publishers meeting in unsuitable facilities had been reduced. But due to growth in the organization, this still meant that 1.6 million publishers did not have a suitable meeting place. Since 2014, that figure has been reduced by 25%. What accounts for this significant reduction in the backlog, allowing us to catch up faster than in the past? Part of the answer lies in making efficient use of the facilities we already have.
What he means is, though the number of Jehovah's Witnesses meeting in unsuitable kingdom halls has been reduced by 25% since the new program was introduced in 2014, this isn't necessarily due to new kingdom halls being built. You see, as I mentioned earlier, Watchtower reserves the right to clear out a congregation's bank account under the assumption that funds will be spent on kingdom hall building and renovation, but then close the congregation by merging it with another, thus reducing or avoiding altogether the need to spend money on building work. Watchtower will now excuse this underhanded way of raising cash by appealing to the example set by Jesus.
When providing food for thousands, Jesus made it clear that nothing should be wasted. The LDC program applies that principle to the seats in our kingdom halls. As noted earlier, we have 62,000 kingdom halls worldwide. On average, only 60% of the seats are filled for congregation meetings. That means that approximately 3 to 4 million seats are empty during congregation meetings each week. There are a number of options to help make better use of these seats, which will make the use of each kingdom hall more efficient. Consider, for example, a kingdom hall in an urban area. It has 200 seats and is used by 4 congregations sharing the facility. That means the kingdom hall will be in use for 4 weeknight meetings and 4 weekend meetings. It would definitely appear to be fully utilized and suggest the need for new construction for further growth. However, how many seats were in the kingdom hall? 200. Multiplied by meetings for the 4 congregations, this facility has a total seating capacity of 800 people. Global records indicate that congregations using this size Kingdom Hall have an average attendance of 120 at their meetings. This could mean that only 480 seats are used by the 4 congregations in this Kingdom Hall, and 320 seats remain empty. Not very efficient. If the 4 congregations were redistributed into 3 congregations, average meeting attendance for each congregation would increase to about 160 per meeting, while still fitting comfortably in that Kingdom Hall. And this would now allow for an open slot in the schedule, which could be used to meet needs in the area without requiring new construction.
So this was how the principle of merging congregations was sold to witnesses in July 2017. And it was very clever the way they did it. They said, well, what we're doing is mimicking what Jesus did, because Jesus didn't believe in wasting anything.